Welcome to Tater Time with Big Al and the Tater. Your host, Mr. Caleb Strickland.
Welcome to week 4 of Tater Time. We're so glad you joined us. AJ, bring us in with some high school football.
All right, well, starting out, Stanhope got off the snide with a big win over Calera.
Do you know what snide means?
Anyway, 42-15, the Mustangs won at Calera. Big win. Got over that embarrassing loss a couple weeks ago. And the Lions took a big loss to Central, but Central's a really good football team. And the Indians had a heartbreaker against Opelika, 32-33.
I'm glad Central got off the snide as well. And moving into storylines from week 3. This was probably an extremely boring week of college football for the most part. Lame game week, according to one Mr. Kyle Reed.
Which leads into mix it up Saturday.
Yeah. Going into this week, we're getting some decent games coming out of the chute. But let's move into the lame game Saturday. You know, strength of schedule is a hot button topic, especially with the 4-team playoff. You know, strength of schedule is a big conversation. And, you know, Bama takes a lot of heat this year, and I agree, Bama's schedule is just garbage. I mean, let's be honest. Other than the SEC opponents that they have to play, the schedule is garbage. We have Nick Saban chastising reporters, asking them to make some calls. But it's not just Bama. Clemson's schedule, you know, I can't remember who the announcer was, but Clemson's schedule is rough. The announcer says that Syracuse is the most likely team to beat Clemson until Carolina at the end of the season. You know, why? What is this? Why are schedules so bad?
Let me start this off right here. I just feel like I want to jump all over this.
It's got really serious.
Yeah. I just got like a lot on this.
Spill the
It's all about you.
No, it's all about me. I just.
Your name's on the desk.
Anyway, being serious for real. This is a big deal. Like, they make it a big deal just about Bama, and it seems like the national media, again, and you're going to hear some of y'all might think this is Homer or whatever, but it's not. I do think there's a lot of other teams that, besides Alabama, play weak schedules too. And the whole issue even came up because Alabama complained about the early game kickoff, having to play that. And Ohio State's like, oh, well, we played 3 in a row, whatever. And you played some pretty awful teams too. So I just think it's funny when some analysts jump in and like, oh, Bama should do better and all this stuff. And I have a solution to fix it. Well, it's not just Bama, though. It's not Bama. It's Ohio State. It's Oklahoma. It's Notre Dame. It's Clemson. We can go down the list. I just think it's
Notre
funny.
Dame's playing Georgia.
Yeah, well, they're playing Georgia Saturday, and then who they got the rest of the year. Okay. But, just like I'm saying, Navy. Okay. But, you get the point.
Well, I just feel like we have this conversation or something similar to this every year. I feel like, if I had a nickel for every time I heard somebody say, well, who have they played?
Yeah.
I mean, how often have you heard that? Well, who have they played? Ohio State. Well, who have they played? They look good in the games in which they played. We dog or have dogged Michigan for how they have looked so far in the season. I feel like it's just early game, early season issue that we always go through.
And I think here's another thing. I think this would solve a lot of this problem. I feel like maybe you don't have rankings to start the season off. I hear everybody talk about, it's always the preseason rankings is how you start off last year. Well, a lot of it's off of what they think's going to happen. Just because you think somebody's going to be good doesn't mean they're going to be good. Let's wait till
That's what the pros do.
let's wait till week 3 and come out with a ranking system after the 3rd week.
Maybe that would incentivize other teams to schedule tough opponents, non-conference opponents, in the early part of the season.
Yeah. All right, moving in to what I think kind of started this conversation, which is the harassment Bama and Clemson are receiving justifiably, in my opinion. I will say, I went to the Carolina game. My seats were really good. I couldn't really see the game, though. But the seats were good. You know, I was low, blah, 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 all the good stuff you want to hear. So I've had to go back and re-watch this game. And, you know, the reports coming out after the game was over is how pumped the Carolina fans are for Helsinki, Helsinki, excuse me.
It's okay.
Helsinki,
all the same. But how pumped they are, and how, you know, they essentially have got wind back in their sails after this loss. And I'm glad, and I will say, I agree, Helsinki looks better. He is one of the better true freshman quarterbacks I've seen. You know, he moves the ball.
He definitely looks better than Bentley, that's for sure.
Yeah, Carolina moved the ball on Bama, all that kind of stuff. But going back and re-watching the game, I've told you guys, I don't know that it was ever really that close. The score was close there in the first half. But my question is, should an SEC team not be able to move the ball? Should an SEC team not be able to put points on the board? You know, I mean, I feel like we should expect that more so than like be surprised by that. So that's why I say I don't know that we're really in it. It's, you know, and you used the comparison. I think you said A&M versus Clemson. You know, you never really thought A&M was going to win. But they looked okay. And I would say the same thing about Carolina. I agree with that.
And on the flip side, too, on that, you know, there's a hold on a fake field goal that, had they not held, this could be a whole different game. I mean, and it's like Caleb was saying, it was almost like they were throwing everything out of desperation, in desperation mode the whole game, and that's how they got their points. And, I mean, there's again, it's going to happen in a lot of games. There's a touchdown that basically got called back from Alabama, said that Tennyson's out of bounds. The replay shows he never stepped out of bounds, should have been a touchdown, so they had to settle for a field goal. There's another, and these targeting calls kind of getting a little ridiculous.
Oh,
I mean,
AJ, I have to disagree.
And I mean, look,
I
don't think so.
Dude, he led with his hand, man.
It's like, okay, I saw a similar thing on another game, and it was on Sunday.
How much is the NFL paying you?
Nobody's paying me anything. I'm just saying what I've seen. It reminded me a lot of the Broncos-Bears game. You can't stop in midair if you're a big guy from hitting somebody.
But I think
no, I don't think you can.
I'm kidding.
And again, like, it cost the Broncos a game because they called a rough in the passer on him. And other college games, it came into play Saturday, and we can talk about that. But again, like you're saying, it was never really in doubt. A lot of it was just the fact that folks were surprised how they were running the football against Alabama and how they were moving the ball. I think that's what surprised me.
Well, I mean, I think what stood out the most and we highlight the most is that Helsinki looks to be the future for them. I mean, the kid had some touch on the ball. Yeah, his yards average downfield wasn't a whole lot, but like on third down, he was pretty clutch. He just looked accurate, looked confident, looked like he knew what he was doing. I mean, I think that's the upside. That's what the fans at South Carolina wanted to see was, do we have hope? And I think they found that in Helsinki.
I mean, they did almost get 500 yards offense. So.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is we went into the game expecting them to be like a high school team. And why? You know, why?
Because they lost to North Carolina to start the year. But to a freshman quarterback.
I mean, I don't know.
It's still an SEC team. It's still a quality coaching staff. They should put a good product on the field.
Yeah, I thought Alabama would not give up as many yards defensively, honestly, but I definitely did not think this is going to be, okay, this is going to be like New Mexico State. I didn't think that.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it's on the road. Anytime you play on the road in the SEC, you're going to get people's best shot from them.
Yeah.
So you got to be ready for anything.
Like I said, I don't think the game was ever as close as it seemed. I think for some reason, like you pointed out, everybody thinks South Carolina is so terrible because of that North Carolina loss, when realistically, I
mean,
think North Carolina's in the upswing, and I think South Carolina is still a mid-tier SEC team.
Yeah.
I think that's just the bottom line. All right, moving on. Willie Taggart. Whoo, Willie. Ooh, Willie, I'm sorry. You got kids. How old was he, AJ?
4 years old.
4 years old, getting picked on at school because of how bad you're coaching.
I don't understand.
Willie.
I don't know how you're getting picked on at 4 years old, but anyway.
I've seen it. Kids are vicious.
Yeah, well,
vicious.
Well, the kid's selling lemonade to get you out of town.
I know.
I mean, wow.
So does Taggart? This is the quick question, and we're gonna leave it at this. Does Taggart make it to the end of the season, Kyle Reed?
I don't think so, because it's also turned into the blame game. We've got to point that out. After the game, he was asked about the 4th down call, and basically he threw Bryles under the bus and said, "I don't call the plays.
Whoa.
You're the head coach. I mean, take some ownership." He's had some very bad explanations for different things after the game. And then you start getting in the blame game, you start losing players, you start losing your own coaches. I mean, this thing's going to crumble right before our eyes, and so it's not going to surprise me if he gets fired before the end of the season.
Tater, does Taggart make it to the end of the season?
I mean, at this point, I don't know if they've held on him this long. I mean, what's
this long? It's his second year.
It's his second year, yeah.
14 games.
Game 3. Game 3.
Hey, it's his second year though, and they weren't good last year. Like they look like a high school team last year, and they haven't gotten any better.
All right, so
did
you buy lemonade?
It's how bad they have looked.
Did you buy lemonade?
No,
you wearing a yellow shirt?
Dude,
he PayPal'd some money. I guarantee
It's in the old Venmo.
No.
All right, so Taggart's out according to AJ.
No.
Moving on. All right, let's move into the picks of the week. We got Auburn coming off a big win to Kent State, playing Texas A&M.
Slaughtered them.
All right, what you got? A&M or Auburn?
Look, I think it's going to be a good game.
That's good.
I like A&M in this one. I like Mon to bounce back. I think he's a good player. He didn't look good against Clemson, but I think he's going to bounce back. I'm still not sold on Nix yet, and I don't know if that's more to do with his coach not calling the right plays for him. But I think A&M's defense is good enough, and I think they're going to beat Auburn.
All right, what you got, AJ?
I think this is one of those tricky games right here. This is one of those usual, Auburn's not supposed to win the game, but somehow they do. But that all being said, I don't know. At A&M,
Humble 12th man.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard that before.
I have not.
It's a 2:30 CBS game. I think I'm going A&M.
I think, I usually don't get in on the picks, but I think we have to say what I always say about Malzahn is the dude wins when he has to. We saw that when he beat Georgia and Bama to get his huge buyout when it was obvious he was gone. Jimmy Raines has put a shot across the bow, as well as Bob Stoops. No one denying the reports that Jimmy Raines is really willing to lay down some cash to bring in Bob Stoops.
Super booster, Jimmy Raines.
Super booster.
Super booster. For those that don't know, that means that guy gives a lot of money to the university.
Yeah. For those that don't know,
to have influence.
Jimmy Raines is the wealthiest man in Alabama. So
he's worth at least, $2 million? Something like that?
I would say at least 1.5. I don't know.
Well, this just.
So I say he wins. Is my point. I say Auburn. Look, when you love him or hate him, he somehow Malzahn just when the pressure's on, this dude just makes it happen.
He just gets to
He just gets in that NASCAR offense. He tears up some gum. I mean, buddy, wouldn't you hate to be the big red in his mouth?
But I mean, this is what I was talking about, though. This is the typical game where Auburn pulls it out when you don't expect them to.
Oh yeah,
that's what surprised me.
This is definitely a swing game. So this could be that game that gets them over the hump and gets them that 9-3, 10-2 season that everybody's talking about.
So I go Auburn. All right, moving down, Bama versus Southern Miss. This is going to be another Bama minus 39, and this is where I'm going to make y'all pick against the points. I just need a yes or no. Do they cover?
Yes.
You pick like an over-under on the temperature outside.
What, 1,000.
And I'll be at this one. I'll be at this game, so I'll let y'all know how hot it is.
Yeah, I'll take Bama.
Oh, Bama in the points. Okay, okay. All right, moving on to a much more interesting game: Georgia versus Notre Dame.
Yep, game day in Athens. The Irish come
Traditional powerhouses.
behind
Dun,
the hedges.
dun, dun. Behind the hedges.
Yep. And I think they're gonna get a whooping behind the edges too.
So you are not voting for the Irish.
I'm going dogs.
Dogs. Okay. Okay.
All
What
day.
you got, Reed?
Yes,
Dogs.
I agree with Tater on this one. I think the
A
Dogs
lot
will
of
put
a
a
heavy
beat down.
dose of Swift and Fromm thrown all over the place.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into y'all's weirdest playoff contender picks from the first part of the season. We got Michigan versus Wisconsin. Kyle, are you still riding the Michigan?
This is rough. It's been a rough go so far. Both of these teams are coming off a bye, which I thought was kind of weird this early in the season. But
And it's
Wisconsin,
another early
It's an
kickoff,
early
11
kickoff.
o'clock.
Wisconsin hadn't given up a point yet.
Ooh.
And Michigan's offense has looked putrid. I think
So
what they're
Michigan is not going to change
Well,
Well, I think what Michigan's starting to realize is that you can't just go get a really good recruiter and just install him as your offensive coordinator, and that just is going to work. I think they're actually figuring out that he is going to have to be able to coach offense and call the right plays and know what he's doing situationally.
Yeah.
All that being said, I got to go against my team. My top
Oh.
four. I think Wisconsin wins this game.
Going with the old Badgers.
All right.
Well, and telling you this too, the matchup is Wisconsin running the football against Michigan not stopping the run. I mean, Michigan's had trouble. I mean,
So
Army
you're calling points here.
ran the ball very well, and Wisconsin has a pretty good running back. I don't know if some folks might have heard of him, the Jonathan Taylor kid. I mean,
JTT.
yeah, I mean, so
Full-time.
I definitely.
He's back playing football.
Simba.
I definitely see this kid putting up some yards and Wisconsin winning this game.
Okay. All right, let's move to our perennial whipping boy in the SEC, one Mr. University of Tennessee, coming off
they're
an
getting a lot of airtime.
epic win.
Maybe that's what it is. It's all like a PR move, so people talk about them more.
Look, all I'm going to say is I'm all about the story with the kid in the shirt. I think that's a great story. I still
do you
despise
think it's real?
I still despise
Is
the
it real?
football team. Look,
Can we see the original drawing? Is
it's
it available?
it's on the shirt, man. It's on the
I want to see
shirt.
the original shirt.
So
Hey,
I
maybe a picture of him doing it.
I do think Fox had a picture of the actual shirt stapled on.
Just some makings of being a fake star.
Okay. So you're calling the same bluff that AJ's calling with the Lemonade Kid.
Yeah, sure.
So,
mean,
we got conspiracy theories out the wazoo out of these two today. All right, so UT, they come off a 45-point win against UT Chattanooga. Normally, we would not even be concerned about that, but
It's a
after
huge
their
win for
start,
Tennessee.
after their start, we gotta respect it.
Big
Well,
win.
AJ brings up. Go ahead, man.
Well, let me bring this up too. After seeing the Cougars of BYU upset the Trojans, that
That's a good
loss to
point, yeah.
BYU does not look as bad. It's still not good, but it doesn't look as bad as it did.
Yep.
Georgia State, that still looks bad. There's no
Mhm.
getting over that one. However, interesting about this game coming up with Florida. You got Florida's down to their backup quarterback with Felipe breaking his ankle.
That was
That was
vicious.
very nasty. So does this give Tennessee a chance? I honestly think it could make the game closer. And not just that, they got one of their leaders on defense back at linebacker, and he played well. And yeah, it's Chattanooga, but he did play
So
well. And showed.
are you about to be bold and pick Tennessee?
I'm not going to go that far. I've been on the fence with this.
That's a bridge too far.
Pretty close, but I'm not going that far. I still think the Gators should be able to beat these guys, but it could be closer than what people think.
All right, what you got,
Yep.
Kyle?
I tend to kind of lean the same way. I mean,
This is
this is Kyle Trask, the redshirt junior quarterback for Florida. This is actually his first start since being a freshman in high school.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you got to be careful listening to it because it almost sounds like trash whenever on the telecast.
Yes, it does.
That's not good.
Yeah,
Not good.
But yeah, I mean, I think Florida still gets the job done, like Tater said, but I think UT might be out to prove something, and I think they might play pretty well and keep it around 14.
Okay. Last but not least, sneaky good games of the week. Sneaky. I'm going to say Kentucky versus Mississippi State could be a sneaky good game. Simply because, I got a little love for the Wildcats. They've been holding down basketball for us for years in the SEC. They put up a good football team last year, and I think they might come out there and show.
Stoops is a good coach.
Yeah, I think they might come out. They lost most of their team last year, but that's all right. I still got a little faith in them.
Yeah.
What about you, Adrian? AJ, who you got? Sneaky.
I got a sneaky good game, and it's a ranked team. The Utes from Utah playing at USC, and the reason I say this, again, USC just came off a loss in overtime to BYU. They're playing at home, backs against the wall. This is one of those games USC ends up showing up, and this could be an upset. But does it happen?
Yeah.
I don't know if Utah is going to let that happen, but this could be one of those.
Well, I've been kind of following.
I got that sneaky good game.
Been kind of following Utah since they were one of my teams that I liked, and
had them win the
gotta
national
say their
championship
offense
at one point.
Yeah, their offense has been shaky, to say the least. Like it's not a well-oiled machine, if you know what I'm saying. So I could see that too, and that game is on Friday night, so it's actually a good game on Friday night. But my sneaky good game is going to be Texas versus Oklahoma State.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Texas only a 5.5 point favorite. Yes.
Orange.
Blake's team. I know he's probably been wondering why we haven't shown love to their quarterback, Spencer Sanders, and their running back, Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard, I think, might be leading NCAA right now. Could be wrong about it, but he's up at the top. Dude's averaging like 8 yards a carry. Killing it. Spencer Sanders is...
Wow, that's good. Good job.
Nailed it. But Spencer Sanders is their redshirt freshman quarterback who's looked really good as well. This could be his coming out party.
Yeah.
But I think Texas still wins. I just think it's going to be a good game.
Can I throw one more sneaky good game?
Let's do it.
All right, last sneaky good game. We'll close out with this. I may have seemed like I was hating on Carolina earlier, but I'm actually saying I think people lost a lot of faith in them when they probably shouldn't have. I think that Carolina...
You actually got a palmetto tattoo.
I can't show
while you were
it.
in South Carolina.
I can't show it on screen, but maybe I do. But Carolina, Mizzou. I think that could be a good game. I really do. I think we'll see that Carolina, when it seems like everybody seemed to have abandoned hope a couple of weeks ago, I think we're going to see again that we probably shouldn't have abandoned hope just yet. So. All right.
See that?
Thank y'all so much for joining us. Make sure to let us know what you think in the comments. If you got a sneaky good game we missed, let us know. See you.